bring forth to you State Representative Dwight Evans.
Good morning also, or good afternoon. I know it's long. It's a real pleasure to be here in behalf of Dwight Evans 25 years ago. When you look at Tony Payton, I told the only thing about it is I had an afro. Tony can't grow an afro. So that's me 25 years ago. And it's interesting, his mother's here, she can tell you that Tony was born in West Oak Lane. And that when I was having the chance to have some conversation with him and just sitting around talking, Tony has, in my view, what it takes. When you begin to look at the cross-section of legislators here, this is a new generation of elected officials. Those of us who have been fortunate enough to be around long enough should recognize the new and not be afraid to move aside, not be intimidated by moving aside and having people who offer a lot. I mean, good friend Brian Letts, who's from Delaware County. I mean, who would have ever thought there would have been a Democrat from Delaware County who is here? You heard Cruz, my good friend Senator Shirley Kitchen, who I used to drive around. And Henry has my job now, but Senator Shirley Kitchen. And what can you say about Maria Quiones? I mean, you want to talk about energy? She definitely is a part. I saw it when she was starting the charter school and in the forefront. And the experience of Harold James. Harold James was in the forefront when he talked about African Americans on the police force, and he led a lot. With Tony Payton being a part of this team, we all can be proud in this city, this state, and this country in the new team that we have. And it is about moving aside for the next new generation, and we should never be fearful of that. Those of us who have tried to lay the groundwork, this is a marathon, this is not a sprint. This requires all of us to be a part of this team. And just as Angel Cruz just said about his colleague, is now for the day in the city of Philadelphia for us to work together. You know, I'll say this in closing. I've been a Democrat all my life, and I was a ward leader. I do get a little disappointed that we still have these same kind of battles in the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party should not be trying to eat us young. Should not be trying to eat us young. And the reality of it, there is no reason that Tony should have this challenge. But I did say this to Tony, because I'm going to tell you there's a similarity in my career. When I ran the very first time, I beat a Democratic incumbent. And when I ran for re-election, Tony, someone ran against me. And I told Tony, it may seem like troubling, but there's nothing wrong with having these races because it puts you to the test. It puts your constituents to the test and puts your friends to the test. And Tony's going to go out there and win this election. He's not going to win it through talking. He's going to win it through action. Talk is cheap. So again, all of us need to do our part. Tony has a motorcade right after this. All of us need to be in there. Again, thank you, and I'm for Tony Payton.